I just bought more of this 2x leveraged Bitcoin um, ETF that I really think can outperform the market over the next 6 to 12 months. So guys, my name is Tarek and welcome back to my channel. So this video, we're going to be talking about a 2x leverage ETF that I recently bought on the dip of the Trump Liberation Day, basically stock market crash. So obviously you guys follow my channel for a while, you know I'm mostly into Bitcoin, but I do like to slightly diversify, especially in retirement accounts, into stocks that are traded on the NASDAQ and New York Stock Exchange. And I'm going to tell you guys about a really awesome stock that I think is really undervalued and actually rallied, rallied just after the Trump tariffs sell-off as Bitcoin started moving higher as well. I really think this ETF can really run. So guys, be sure to tune into this video to find out which Bitcoin backed ETF I am talking about. Okay, so the reason why I bought this ETF is because I wanted to gain some more exposure towards the end of the 2025 crypto bull run, which I do believe is still in play. Okay, so obviously there was a bit of selling off of the stock market, and stocks got hammered, and that makes sense because Trump tariffs put a lot of fear in people, so they moved a lot of their money into gold and then just took their money off the table. But the interesting thing is that Bitcoin was relatively unchanged. In fact, Bitcoin actually went up a little bit after um, after about a couple of days after Trump announced his reciprocal tariffs. So obviously, I mentioned to you guys that Bitcoin is going to do really, really well in this market environment because a lot of people are going to be scared off of the fiat stocks and move into Bitcoin. What's also interesting is you can actually outperform Bitcoin's returns by checking out this really cool leverage ETF that I'm about to share with you guys. So be sure to tune in as I talk a little bit about it, kind of talk about how it works, the risk reward, and where I think this ETF is here to give you guys my price prediction. So the ETF, the 2x leverage ETF that I purchased is ticker symbol MSTU. Okay, it's the T-Rex 2x leverage MSTR ETF. So if you guys have followed my channel, you guys remember I told you guys to get into MSTR about last year. Around this time last year, the stock was way cheaper. Okay, I believe the stock was about, it was like 130, 120, $130 there. So it's up pretty much over 100% since I posted that video. So be sure to check out that video in my video archives if you guys want kind of the full rundown on why I recommend to get into MSTR. What's really interesting is that at the end of last year, in Q4 2024, there was a leverage 2x MSTR ETF. And what this does is it's basically designed to double the performance of MSTR stock on any given day. So for example, if MSTR strategy stock, there's just the Michael Saylor, Michael Saylor is the executive chairman of strategy. So if MSTR goes up 5% one day, MSTU will go up 10%. And the reason why I invested in this 2x leverage ETF is because I just thought that with all of the panic and things like this, and MSTU was trading around $5, it was trading as high as $30, okay, just a few months ago. I figured that this was a great buying opportunity. And I really believe that you could probably 6 to 12x your money over the next 6 to 12 months if you get into this ETF. And that's simply because I do believe that we're going to see Bitcoin hit an all-time high, moving towards Q3 and Q4 of 2025. And normally this is kind of the period where, people follow the whole sell in May and go away thing. So we're already kind of seeing that as people are preparing and dumping stocks and things like that. So I just felt like MSTU was a great buy. Now, there are some risks, okay? Obviously, the biggest risk is the expense ratio, okay? MSTU does charge a 1% expense ratio. So this will cut a bit into your returns, but that's fine. Most Bitcoin ETFs have an expense ratio. Obviously, you can get in, some of them have lower than 1%, but for the 2x leverage, I believe that the 2x upside kind of offsets the 1% annual expense ratio. Of course, other risks are that Bitcoin could crash. and you're going to experience some losses. Of course, the losses are going to be twice as big as MSTR's losses would be. So, for example, if MSTR was down 5% in one day, MSTU would be down 10%. Well, the thing is that this, whereas MSTR is trading around like $300 or something like that as of recording this video, MSTU is only $5. So it's relatively new. The ETF has barely been out, a couple of quarters, 6 months, something like that. So I really believe it has a lot of upside. And I kind of remember back when the Grayscale GBTC ETF came out and how it was trading at like a few dollars, and then over the years it's really exploded in price. So this was kind of like, in my opinion, GBTC 2.0. Obviously, the Grayscale Bitcoin ETF has lost a lot of luster because it has much higher expense ratios now. But with this MSTU ETF, I really believe that you guys could make, like I said, between 6 to 12 extra gains over the next 6 to 12 months. So this is the ETF that I loaded up on. It was my prime target. Right now, as I mentioned, during the stock market crash, I'm mainly looking at Bitcoin backed stocks, MSTR, MSTU, things like that. This looks like the best opportunity for me personally. Like I said, we don't know how a lot of these companies are going to are going to like shake out, and things are going to happen with the new tariffs. But we do know that the last Bitcoin halving was almost a year ago, because it was in April 19, 2024. So it's almost a year from now. So we do know that if Bitcoin follows the previous cycles, we do know there's potentially a lot of upside moving forward. And I do think that Bitcoin should probably reach at least 160 to 175K by the end of 2025. So that gives MSTU massive upside. Now the recent top for MSTU was around $30, and now it's trading around $5. So I would think that by the end of the year, if Bitcoin continues on its trajectory, I think MSTR will be up, and then MSTU will probably, have twice as much return. So I really think that a nice price target for MSTU should be about 50 to $60 by the end of the year, which is approximately a 10 to 12x. But I think it'll definitely hit that recent high of 30, because as the complete sell off and people have been panicking, dumping stocks, MSTU has still held its ground at around $5, which is phenomenal, because literally we're probably seeing some of the worst. I don't expect this massive selling to continue. I believe things will stabilize and there'll be a little bit of dip buying recently. But like I said, this is a great opportunity. I believe it's still trading basically almost like a penny stock, around $5. Yes, there is some downside risk, but this ETF could really outperform over the long run as well. So, like I said, it's going to be volatile. It's because it's a 2x leverage ETF, but I really believe there's a lot of upside, and that's why I kind of bought the dip on this particular ticker. So, like you said, if you guys like some more of these videos or some more of the kind of stocks I'm looking at, as well as saving in Bitcoin, please subscribe to my channel for more future videos, and give this video a thumbs up as well. Let me know what you guys think about MSTU. Are you guys just doing 100% crypto? Are you involved in the stock market? Like I said, I'm mainly into crypto. The majority of my net worth is in crypto, but I do like to diversify in these in my IRAs by holding some of these Bitcoin backed stocks as well. It just gives me a little bit of diversification. And like I said, my time horizon for most of my retirement accounts are 20 plus years anyway. So I don't mind a little bit of volatility in the short run, as long as I can maximize my retirement in the long run. So that's all I got until next time, guys. Thanks for watching. Take care.